Hello everyone and now welcome to a game between Pink and Alice. Pink has spawned as the red undead on the top left hand side of Echo Isle. Meanwhile over here on the top right we have Alice spawning as the blue night elf. Let me double check what tournament this is from. This is from Smile Cup 2, one of the qualifier matches, and it promises to be a good one, so stick around, grab some of your favorite snacks, and let's go ahead and get this show on the road. On the top right hand side of the map, we see Alice opening up with a Moonwell Altar of Elders, Ancient of War being built down to the south here. So we are going to be going for that Ancient of War Archer creeping, and well, trying to get to level 2 quickly. Meanwhile, we are looking at Pink opening things up with a Crypt, an Altar of Darkness, and a Ziggurat. We should be looking at a Tomb of Relics right behind this as well. And from there, well, we'll see what these players will be trying to unlock next. Is that the Tomb of Relics? Of course it is. So Tomb of Relics now being placed down. All right, interesting that you actually can like click here for inventory on the Tomb of Relics, but like these buildings don't have it. I don't know if that's on purpose or on accident. It is going to be a Warden first coming in from Alice. A Warden very effective at taking down ghouls early on with that Shadow Strike, Fan of Knives, can do a lot of harassment. Echo Isles has a lot of very interesting playstyles as you run around the map. A blink does make the map just feel that much smaller. Couple of things to note: Echo Isle is relatively low on gold, only 12,500 or 12,513 starting from these gold mines here. So what does that mean? Well, it means for the average player, you can run out of gold relatively quickly. I believe 12 minutes here and then another 10 minutes here, and then you are out of gold. So depending on when the expansions are taken, oftentimes a lot of games on Echo Isle are played in that no upkeep range, everyone trying to stay within no upkeep as much as possible and trying to minimize the amount of gold lost to taxes and the gameplay, those gameplay mechanics. Oftentimes going into perhaps 60 supply right before a battle just to try and gain an edge. Ring of Protection +4, not the item the Warden was looking for, as the Death Knight goes to town after on this creep camp, looking to build up a skeletal minion army. All right, back for some time, people, when they were saying that they had rebalanced Rod of Necromancy, reducing the cooldown by a couple of seconds, you can see what that slight cooldown difference does. It really affects and changes how Undead tries to creep. That 2 seconds delay really changes things up, as Death Knight should be able to clear out a Forest Troll Trapper, get and then use another Rod of Necromancy straight out of the gate here. A Wisp trying to stay nearby. Beautiful Death Coil there, as we're looking at the engagement already going through. Death Knight should have another charge ready, once more ready to go, or perhaps he's trying to wait for it just a little while longer. Meanwhile, Warden with a Ring of Protection +4, not really taking that much damage. 33% damage reduction. Coming on through bottom left-hand side of the map, Death Knight has Unholy Aura, purposely killing a raccoon there, perhaps wanting that corpse a little bit later. Well, and some Moonwells. Hi, WTC Jedi Master, how are you doing? Yep, Alice does have a few Moonwells inside his base, as the Warden tries to engage here. Warden only has Shadow Strike, hasn't chosen a second ability as of yet, and could have gotten surrounded right there. All right, is the Warden that double backing around, does move around very quickly, but that Death Knight with Unholy Aura really able to close in on that distance. He's going to look for an expansion that is not there and now head off to the north. Ancient of War taking quite a bit of damage. There's a blink to make sure that it gets the item, finishes things off, and gets the Circuit of Nobility. A little bit of engagement there. Level 2 Shadow Strike, definitely more effective than level 1, as damage is already adding back up. All right, quite a bit of damage there. There goes down one ghoul. Ancient of War not going to stand for long as it gets taken down. Tome of Strength picked up by the Death Knight, as the Warden may try to get another Shadow Strike off, but the Death Knight has plenty of mana for that Death Coil. There goes another Death Coil once more, going now for a different unit. Ghoul is moving a little bit more slowly. Ghoul, will it be able to get away? Down to 69 hit points, down to 40 hit points. There's the Death Coil for the save, and the Warden does not look like it will be able to close up on that distance. Death Knight leading the army well, even though he is now low on mana. Coming back to the respective sides, we are only looking at an Acropolis. We are teching the Tree of Ages by Alice. So tech to tier 2. Meanwhile, Undead. Well, Pink actually trying to go for. I should remove focus there now that I realize it. Pink now trying to go for this expansion here. And this is going to be a little bit of a tough spot for Pink. Pink will have to try and finish off his opponent very with a much larger army, and if Alice tries to play this sort of game where he is just efficient with the Warden, may be able to come out ahead a different way. You can see the Warden dealing quite a bit of damage now, trying to sneak away skeletal minions units all around everywhere, as the Death Knight still sitting at level 2. Do we have Shadow Strike, or do we have a Dust of Appearance? We do not. Blink, however, quickly coming online there, as that Ghoul could end up getting taken down, needs 1 or 2 more shots. Tech to tier 2, no Nerubian Tower, and that's exactly what the Warden was looking for. It finishes off, and now may be able to get off another Ghoul as well. 2 Ghouls now taken down inside the base, only 1 Ghoul on Lumber, a second one now joining him, but we could see Pink low on Lumber if he is not careful right at the end of, right when he gets the tier 2. When he gets the tier 2, Undead players want to tech to tier 3. They want to build a slaughterhouse, and they want to train that second hero. That is a large amount of lumber straight out of the gates. Talk about missing things. Alice had set up a Tree of Life being built and hidden off to the side. That Tree of Life now entangling this gold mine here. Not going to have much problems entangling that gold mine, as both sides going into going into expansions. However, Alice is already at Tree of Ages, so he has a little bit of a tech advantage there, and because of that tech advantage, also has a little bit of an experience advantage here, as we are going to go into this engagement now. All right, level 4, Warden Shadow Strike picks up the Tome of Intelligence, says thank you very much, and is now trying to get away once more. Are we seeing a blink or any other ability? He's going to try and break free right there. Wand of Mana Stealing, beautifully done right there in order to get a kill off there, as the Warden now in a little bit of trouble trying to finish off this last Ghoul. One more tick should end up doing it, and a beautiful timing there for that save. Going after a different Ghoul. There's the detonation, as the Warden still going after another target. Death Knight not going to be able to finish that unit off, as this Ghoul also taking fair amount of damage, and Pink unable to, pick off another unit there. Warden trying to get every ounce of usefulness out of every hit point, every bit of mana, as we're looking at the Death Knight low on mana. Is it going to be, Wand of Mana Stealing gets the charge off, and, denies a Shadow Strike there, as the Warden now looks to retreat back. Hello, Burrow Rush. Good day to you. Not quite sure if you're in the same time zone as me, as the Forest Troll Berserker now looking to retreat. Tree of Life has taken a little bit of damage. It's going to slowly regenerate, but this is something that Alice will need to keep track of later on. Ghouls easily swarm a Tree of Life, especially without that additional Nature's Blessing, which I do not believe is online. No easy way to tell, as all of the buildings are doing something. And I don't have, I haven't paid for my own custom overlay. Anyways, coming back down across here, Warden going after the Ogre Warrior, gonna finish that off with no problem, picking that off in no time flat. Meanwhile, down to the south here, Tree of Life taking a little bit of damage once more. Warden really trying to get to level 5 here. I'm going to get a little bit closer. Meanwhile, Halls of the Dead already taking the tier 2. Lich is being trained up. There's that slaughterhouse. There's that large amount of lumber that I was, talking about earlier. Being able to get all of that lumber right at the end of right at the start of tier 2 is incredibly important. Warden going to come across here, pick up the Claws of Attack +5, and now perhaps get ready for an engagement, as the Bears are going to be joining in on the battle. Both sides sitting in no upkeep so far. Forest Troll, Shadow Priest quickly taking down Staff of Teleportation, and now being used as the Death Knight will shake off some of that damage and head back home. Yeah, real overlay, real cool. Reminds me of some NetEase Back to WarCraft castings. No, this overlay is made by made by Pad, so like the designers of W3 Champions and all of that. The overlay very, very strong, very, very nice, but still nowhere near as good as the Back to Warcraft guys. And the Back to Warcraft guys, I understand if they blink dodge on that Death Coil. I understand why if they don't share it for everyone. They paid for a lot. They paid probably a fair amount. if I was to try and design a similar API and overlay, it would be it it would take me quite some time. So yeah, that is some impressive design, being able to interpret the data coming out of the replay and then changing it into graphical overlay as well. Warden sells the Ring of Protection +4, picks up a Potion of Invisibility, uses it, and then follows it up with a Staff of Teleportation. Warden is now sitting at level 5, is maxed out on hit points, and wants to level up, sees some easy targets, and are we going to go right here? Here we are, here's the engagement. Dryads, Bears not looking to fight, but the Warden is right there as well. Death Coil saved by the Death Knight. A 2 Death Coil counteracting a level 3 Shadow Strike there as hit points are being regenerated. There's another Death Coil again as the Warden just having a difficult time. Alice not being able to finish off any units. And, well, what is this? A Druid of the Claw still in Druid form. What is going on here? Down to 12 hit points. Is it going to survive? No, it is not. And now units are trying to retreat back here. Meanwhile, the Death Knight down to 133 hit points, forced to use a Scroll of Town Portal. And there is a lot of Obsidian statues. All right, Pink will have to be aware of the amount of Obsidian statues that Alice Alice will have to be aware of the amount of Obsidian statues that Pink has, as they are going to easily be transforming into bears in no time flat. Once there are bears out onto the battlefield, destroyers, the bears are going to be, well, melting like crazy. Rejuvenation is going to be very dangerous to use in combat as the Warden tries to hold on to that front position. Perhaps that Ring of Protection +4 would still be useful because to try and counteract against that Orb of Corruption. All right, selling some items. Tome of Retraining. We are going to be looking at perhaps Fan of Knives now instead of Shadow Strike. Massive AoE damage as the Warden now, where is it teleporting off to? Teleporting back home to get, teleporting back home, then using the Tome of Retraining, perhaps to try to use it as a bit of a surprise on his opponent. Destroyer out here on the battlefield. Dark Ranger here as well. And, well, with the Dark Ranger, silence is going to become a very deadly effect against that Warden if that Warden blinks or is in a situation where blink is necessary. Coming over here to the top right-hand side of the map, Warden, Orb of Venom. A little bit of additional damage over time. Warden going to be ready to engage. Meanwhile, the base is taking quite a bit of damage. Moonwell is taking large damage as well as we're going to be going into engagement. There is a blink Fan of Knives already as the Warden will quickly trying to use up some of those Moonwell juice and now should be able to re-engage with another Fan of Knives here in just a moment. Fan of Knives ready to go. There it is. Fan of Knives racking up that damage. Obsidian statues working overtime as the Warden trying to go after some Crypt Fiends. Is he going to be able to finish things off? Warden needs another 1 second. All right, there's the Fan of Knives finishing things off. A beautiful Death Coil by the level 3 Death Knight to save right there. Bear getting taken down. No Staff of Preservation as a Crypt Fiend. Well, Death Coil, Warden is going to be in a lot of trouble. No more mana. There is a blink away. No silence. Or there was a silence, but it doesn't last nearly as long as a bear gets taken out. All right. Pink is now sitting in low upkeep and has been sitting in low upkeep throughout this match. Has a slightly larger army as well, but is only mining 14 gold a second compared to 20. Now, anytime, well, I take it back. Explanation no longer needed. Alice now breaking into low upkeep as well, going back down to 51. 51 wisps is 51 supply is the absolute worst you want to be in. More repairs are getting underway. Death Knight gets up to level 4 and now has Death Pact as that follow-up ability. Now, here's the question. The Warden is getting close to level 6, will not be able to get there unless he fights against the Undead Army. Meanwhile, Undead Army is taking this opportunity to clear out the remaining creep camps on the map. When it was a 3-2-1 battle, the level 5 Warden could hold her own. Now that we are going to be going into level 3 Death Coil, or level 2 Death Coil, and level 2 Frost Nova, with the silence to shut down the escape mechanisms, will that Warden be able to stay alive? That is the question to have now, as the Warden now makes its way back over, does have a potion of mana to use right when it gets to level 6 to ensure an Avatar of Vengeance is going to be up and running. All right, in comes the unit here trying to get some damage. There is a Fan of Knives finishing off 1 Acolyte, 2 Acolytes already down. 3rd Acolyte could get taken down. Warden trying to blink, trying to close in on that distance, trying to go up. There's a Fan of Knives, gets to level 6 and now, well, can perhaps teleport and live to fight another day. All right, there's the teleport back down here. Ancient Protector trying to be added. Are we going to see the Avatar be picked up and used? Ancient Protector quickly taken out as the destroyers don't want any piercing damage at all. Bears in a little bit of trouble. One Druid of the Claw saying, I need a Voltron, or I need a transform. I need a morphin time. Yeah, come on. As a caster messing up my puns. As we're looking at the Avatar of Vengeance now trying to put into play, not messing up my cultural references, not puns. As we're looking at a Druid of the Claw trying to fight back here, Warden in a bit of trouble, Scroll of Town Portal trying to teleport back. As we are looking, and still, as the Bears are still relatively low on hit points, we're going to try and re-engage here. Just a quick timeout, 20 or not even a 20-second timeout here in this fight, as both sides are still fighting their way through. Druid of the Claw trying to fight in that front line. However, the destroyers are there, some of them with mana, dealing extra bonus damage. All right, Druid of the Claw down to 129 hit points, now needs to recover. The Warden of Alice does not have a Staff of Preservation, and that has perhaps been constantly an issue for Alice. Not having the Staff of Preservation is a big deal as we're looking at this continual fight here. Plenty of bears could be saved. Bears are perhaps the best target to save, as after a Staff of Preservation, they can save themselves, as the Warden now gets up to level 7. Level 7 Warden currently silenced a little bit. Another bear going to get taken down as the units are trying to retreat back once more. There's a Fan of Knives quickly, recalled by a Death Coil there to save that Crypt Fiend. Both sides continuing to fight, and Druids of the, Forest Troll Shadow Priest now getting taken on as the Spirit of Vengeances, who have no regard for their own personal health since they are invulnerable, going after those units to try and get in a little bit more damage. All right, units still coming back through 16, 17 minutes into this game, and still no one has a clear-cut lead. Pink with a 68 supply advantage compared to 58, but dealing with a level 7 Warden. The level 4 Death Knight, however, about to get to level 5, and that is going to be a big jump in power spike, as well as the Death Coils go from 400 hit point heals to 600. Bear is getting ready to engage once more. Warden now trying to push on through. There's a quick silence right there. There goes another bear getting taken down in that front line. Not having Staff of Preservation really taking its toll on Alice's army, as plenty of bears could have been teleported back to try and stay alive here. All right, Warden blinks behind enemy lines once more. Disease Cloud spreading disease across all of those dryads here. So even if Alice retreats back, he'll find that there's just so much hit points to try and recover. Multiple obsidian statues still in play here, 2 of them with mana. One of them could go into destroyer form anytime soon to try and go after these bears. 64 supply compared to 54. Alice is up against the rope. Will Alice be able to fight his way through, or will he just get pummeled to death by Pink, as we see the Spirit of Vengeance just constantly show up to the party to try and put pressure down onto all of these units? No free damage here. Warden now looking to retreat back. No rejuvenations. Still no Staff of Preservation after all this time. Ancient of Wonders still there. Inventory. There's a new Spirit of Vengeance. Moonwell's trying to come on full, come on strong, as that Death Knight now, extremely close to level 5. Level 3 Lich, level 3 Dark Ranger. Units are going to be getting ready to engage. 58 supply compared to 71. Pink's army is significantly larger, but is this enough? Silence onto the Warden. Warden is going to try and engage here. Bear is taking quite a bit of damage. One bear could get taken down already. There it goes. Level 5 now on the Death Knight. Level 5 on the Death Knight could, spell problems for that Warden, as a lot of Death Coils could end up taking it down. Meanwhile, Lich going to be in trouble. No, gets a Death Coil. In comes some Wisp for some detonations, as we're looking at the pressure now trying to add in. All right, so far though, there is one burrowed Crypt Fiend right there. There is no longer a burrowed Crypt Fiend, as the Warden quickly uses Dust of Appearance to reveal that threat. 53 supply compared to 76. And the problem for Alice is that Alice is always stuck in this low upkeep hell. It would be better if Alice could stay at 50 supply than being stuck somewhere between 53 and 56. At least that way, Alice would have the economic advantage and be getting an additional 6 gold a second, translating to 360 gold what, 360 gold per minute. That would be one additional bear worth of gold, or more than one additional bear of gold every minute, and just saved up in the bank, ready to go. Instead, he's in this low upkeep hell, getting up to 57 once more. But then there's going to be this timing attack coming in from Pink, and as long as Pink is just constantly trading efficiently and not losing too many Crypt Fiends, fine. Death Knight now running across here. Level 3 on the Dark Ranger, level 4 on the Lich. We're getting ready for an engagement here. Death Coil, Frost Nova onto the Warden. Warden trying to make its way back over here to the top right. There's the blink away as there's a rejuvenation coming back across. All right, Destroyers, no Devour Magic as of yet, but there's a lot of Roar right there. Not quite sure why Devour Magic isn't being used. Well, no more Roar on the Bears as Staff of Preservation finally being picked up by Alice. All right, a lot of damage adding up. There's another Fan of Knives, level 8 now on that Warden. Level 8 Warden, extremely dangerous indeed, as the Bear going to get taken down once more. Or so Black Arrows popping up, trying to bring up more units as well. Dryads continuing to fight. 48 supply compared to 68. As this battle is going to go sideways, another bear gets taken down. Right, trying to finish off more units. There is another, well, Dust of Appearance trying to finish off another unit there. There goes the Crypt Fiend. Could have used the Phantom Knives to finish it off, as well as damage is adding back up. Another bear gets taken down as the Avatar of Vengeance is about to come to an end. More mana will be needed. Drinking from that Moonwell seems like a very smart proposition. 44 supply compared to 72, as the Warden may not be able to hold on to here very easily. Only a couple minutes of mining left. Warden now drinking right there as the Spirit of Vengeance is just picking away at those units. Are we going to see a Shadow Strike? Yes, we are. Level 1 Shadow Strike finishing off a Crypt Fiend. All right, level 1 Shadow Strike finishing off that Crypt Fiend there. Death Knight now retreating. Lich up to level 4, having access to Dark Ritual. Staff of Teleportation on the Death Knight, looking to buy and replenish a couple of items. Main gold mines, 3 minutes of mining left. Expansions, 4 minutes of mining left. That is gonna be the case here on Alice's main base, nearly out of gold. Remember, Pink actually lost a lot of acolytes early on, delaying the mining here. Meanwhile, on the bottom right-hand side, he has an advantage. So Pink's or Alice's strategy here may be to try and hold on and just not die, and then allow that final bit of 2,000 gold in the bank here to try and carry him through. That is a very dangerous strategy indeed, especially with when you are down by 16 supply. Moonwell's now being replaced once more, as well. Moonwell replenishment is going to be absolutely key. More Dryads getting added in. Pink staying steady at 79 supply. Tree of Eternity, they do have, well, that additional armor, as we're now going to go into an engagement. Destroyers all very, very high on damage here, going after those units. Warden trying to Fan of Knives her way, trying to take down all of these units here. A bunch of bears. Perhaps Staff of Preservation could save another bear. Not going to save that bear, or this bear perhaps. Staff of Preservation is still there, and 2, 3 bears now down, 4 bears now down, and this is not looking good. Pink is just pushing up against Alice, and Alice is just not surviving this onslaught at all. 48 supply compared to 68. Still a very large supply difference as the units are retreating back. Bear trying to retreat back once more. No Staff of Preservation I've seen in this fight so far, as the Warden does get up to level 9. Level 9 Warden, however, can switch the tables really quickly, and this is just a lot of Obsidian statues. This may be an overcommitment and a mistake by Pink with this many Obsidian statues waiting to just be transformed. Now, there are a lot of Crypt Fiends out here on the battlefield, and a lot of Dryads out here on the battlefield, and I only see one Crypt Fiend. If Pink does not recognize and build the right proper counter unit, then, well, he's going to end up finding himself in a difficult spot with Destroyers and Obsidian statues going against an army of Dryads. One bear out here on the battlefield, perhaps it should only be used for rejuvenation and stay inside the base. There's simply too many Destroyers and Obsidian statues that will cause a lot of problems. All right, here we are. Avatar of Vengeance looking to engage. Destroyers trying to fight as well. Dryads are going to be making their way down. More and more. No, more bears now getting thrown into the mix as well. Why train up bears if you're not even going to bother to save them, Alice? That is my question to you. Warden now pushing across here. Avatar of Vengeance has about, another 60 seconds to go as we're looking at a bear. Yes, Staff of Preservation saves one bear there. A little bit of frustration once more as the units are going to try and engage again. Are we looking at one Druid of the Claw just hanging around in the back, not doing anything, just absorbing damage? Perhaps should get a rejuvenation off, and there's a Dark Ritual as the, Lich going to be able to get off a lot more, or look of Dark Ritual. There goes a bear right there. Units are going to try and engage. Spirit of Vengeance is in that front line spot, still poking away with that damage, 17 to 21, forcing those units to retreat. Alice's Avatar of Vengeance has about 36 seconds left to go as the Spirit of Vengeance is still trying to push their way through. Dryads here, Druidical Claw, Rejuvenation. Are we going to see a transformation right here? Fan of Knives taking down one Abomination. And is this the push, the counter push that Alice has been looking for throughout this match? Death Knight low on mana, even as the Obsidian statues are low on mana. That is the problem. So many Obsidian statues, and once they are out of mana, they don't do very much. Bear's now trying to retreat back again. Avatar of Vengeance could stay around in the back, get a little bit of a free damage once more as the Warden hangs back off to the north, gonna get some rejuvenations on some bears, and then make our way for another push. 56 supply compared to 67. There is about 3 minutes, a little bit more than 3 minutes of mining left. We are in a situation where pink now has no more gold. What you see is what you get unless pink does the, pretty much now standard undead, unsummoned buildings for one final push. 26 minutes into this game, and it is going to be coming down to a push here. The main difference is going to be the fact that Night Elf has Moonwells, and that's going to try and counteract the mana or the Obsidian statues from the opponent. 4 Obsidian statues, 2 Destroyers, and a whole bunch of Crypt Fiends here to try and deal. But now that there is a lot more bears out onto the battlefield, Abominations may be needed. Here we are. We're going to be going into an engagement. There's a quick silence, and now here is that fight. Avatar of Vengeance already in position. Fan of Knives coming across, dealing an initial burst of damage straight out of the gate. Frost Nova trying to slow things down as the Lich now may find himself or itself perhaps in a difficult spot trying to get away. All right, another Fan of Knives, Potion of Lesser Invulnerability used, but the damage still stuck as the Death Knight forced the Death Coil that Lich for that heal save. Warden continuing this push here. Low hit point bear in the back, down to 81 hit points, down to 50 hit points. Staff of Preservation for the save as an Abomination comes around the corner. Crypt Fiend getting saved right there once more. Fan of Knives coming through as the Warden may be able to get up to level 10. Avatar of Vengeance needs to get in a couple of kills in order to get more Spirit of Vengeances out on the battlefield. This is the problem. There's no corpses on the battlefield as Alice, Avatar of Vengeance, is just a fraction of its possible power. All right, Druid of the Claw is going to get taken out. Yes, it will. Avatar of Vengeance, a Dark Minion pops on up first as Wisp now going to come over to engage. 49 supply compared to 67. A little bit of gold still being mined, but that's only 1,000 gold difference there as we're looking at units still trying to get trained back up. Yes, a bear is trying to get trained up here. There's a low hit point bear getting rejuvenated, and now the Destroyers are pushing on through. 47 supply compared to 67, fighting in the Night Elf base here as we're looking at, that Druid of the Claw is going to get Staff of Preservation. No, it is not. Wisp now coming off the tree line, and are we going to see some detonations? Detonations onto this line could actually spell problems as the Obsidian statues are not going to be anywhere near as helpful without as much mana. All right, Bears trying to fight back the other way. Some additional units are going to get taken down. The Wisp, however, do not generate any skeletons, as you know, as Pink looks like he's going to hold on to this battle here. Tree of Eternity, is it getting uprooted? No, it is not. Druids of the Claw are all hiding in the back here, waiting for a possible fight. And, not much Alice can do except for try and time this attack, a counterattack perfectly. 31 supply compared to 57. Tree of Eternity right there trying to fight back here. Ancient of Lores should be uprooted and engaging as well. Those Crypt Fiends would not want those trees trying to attack them. Death Coil right there as the Warden still trying to fight its way through. Level 10 on that Death Coil. Level 3 Fan of Knives perhaps can finish off a handful of Obsidian statues. There's a lot of low hit point units here from the Undead side that could take it down. And there's Animate Dead. Animate Dead bringing out a bunch of Crypt Fiends as well as the Warden now looking to try and finish off some of those units. Perhaps getting off a big Fan of Knives here as the as some of these units are just getting taken down. So far, what's going on here? Warden, could it go after those Obsidian statues? A Fan of Knives between the two of them would really take them out here as the Warden, now down to 393 hit points, tries to break free and get away. 2 half-filled Moonwells down to the south to try and make a bit of a play here. Alice now trying to retreat back with the Avatar of Vengeance, but Animate Dead adding a little bit of oomph for Pink's attack right there seems to have done the damage. All right, Crypt Fiend gonna end up getting taken down. There's the avatar. It gets destroyed. New avatar now back out here onto the battlefield. And here we go. 2016 supply army going up against 30 trying to save that Druid of the Claw. Rejuvenation right there. Bear going across there. Tree of Eternity. Why is it not uprooted? Why is it not fighting back? Same thing with the Ancient of Lores. You need every advantage. If they're going to be fighting you inside your base, you want to use as much of your home field advantage as you can. All right, one Dark Ranger about to get taken down. Death Knight with the Death Coil comes in with the save. Lich could be in trouble. Lich gets taken down with the 225 Shadow Strike. Lich has fallen at level 5 as now Abominations could be falling as well. Warden now trying to back away down to 228 hit points. There's a Fan of Knives finishing off a little bit more units as the Druid of the Claw gets Staff of Preservation back again. All right, Moonwell's going to go ahead and rejuvenate right there. Bear trying to come back across. Abomination could have a very bad day. Death Pact in order to gain a little bit more hit points as we're still looking at an engagement there. Just Devour Magic removing the last remaining bits of the Warden's rejuvenation there, trying to still chase after all of those units. Slow poison into the Death Knight. Death Knight may end up getting taken down. No more mana though, but it still may be enough. There's the blink, and there goes the Death Knight. In an amazing turnaround. The loss of that Lich, the sudden burst damage, enough to offset and shake up the power that was the undead army. With that loss right there, suddenly, without Frost Nova to slow things down, I can't even think straight. The Warden was able to blink, catch up, and then start picking off additional enemy heroes. Level 10 Warden with level 3 Fan of Knives, level 3 Shadow Strike, extremely low cost mana blink with a fast cooldown, able to do what she does best and track down criminals and take them out. Alice comes away with the victory, even though there was, I believe, a 30 supply difference, 3 minutes left in the game. Perhaps an overcommitment and an overtraining in Pink for Obsidian statues was the problem there. Yes, they cost 3 supply each, 12 supply in units that, could only be turned into destroyers and really didn't represent that much damage. Great game. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll see you next time.